something you've never heard that will blow your mind. Once upon a time, I'll tell you stories from Africa. Fun enough to make you laugh. Bright enough to light your day. Super lessons you learn from it, and it makes you go.
Hello children, welcome to Grandma Wora's Story Hut, where my stories give you wings and fly you on an African adventure. Today's story is titled Ebibulu. Once upon a time, in the southern part of Nigeria, there lived two friends, one named Timi, the other Preye. Of the two friends, Timi was the more courageous one, but he stuttered whenever he got very excited or got angry, furious. He would stutter. He would not be able to express himself fluently. But Preye was the eloquent one. He could speak very fluently. He was charismatic and all of that. People would just like him easily. These two friends loved adventure. They loved to go on adventure. They loved to go after, creatures that no one had ever heard of. And so they would tell their stories to their families whenever they got back from their adventure. However, they both lived in the beautiful kingdom called Brakemi. Oh, Brakemi was such an amazing and beautiful place to be. Everything they did depended on their water. Their food was dependent on the water. Their trade, everything was dependent on the water. So if anything went wrong with their water, it affected every one of them. However, things were going well until the king, the Preye of Brakemi, became really vicious and began to oppress the people. Whatever they sold for the day, he would get his servants and get them to go take from the people for himself. This angered the people of the land, and somehow there came a plague upon Brakemi because of the wickedness of the Preye. It was the plague of Ebibulu, a monstrous fish. Oh, a poisonous fish that was eating up all of the fishes in the sea. The people were miserable as a result of the plague of Ebibulu. Now, they could not fish because Ebibulu was carrying away the fishes to other parts of the sea. Ebibulu was poisoning the water and scaring the other fishes, eating the smaller fishes. There was chaos in the water. And as a result, the people of Brakemi were in big trouble. Somehow, this affected the Preye, who also passed on. And it was said that if anyone could deal and take care of the monster fish Ebibulu, that person would be the next king, the next Preye. And so, the two friends, because they loved their Brakemi village so much, they decided they were going to go on an adventure and get rid of Ebibulu. This they did. While they were in the water, swords and spears in hand, with a knife, They battled. They fought Obiribiri. But somehow, Preye was unable to overpower Obiribiri. But you know what? Timi eventually gave the last strike with his knife, which pierced into Obiribiri and killed the monster fish. When they dragged this big fish out of the water to shore, the people were excited to see the two friends had done this. But then, when they were asked who really killed Obiribiri, because you remember, whoever killed Obiribiri would be the one to be king. Oh, Timi was so excited. And you know when he gets excited, he begins to stutter. As he began to say, his friend took over, cut in, and said, oh, Preye, I killed the monster fish. I killed Obiribiri. Oh, the crowd were excited. They picked him up and began to run towards the palace. Oh, we have found our Ebibulu, our good heart, the good king who has sacrificed his life to keep us safe in Brakemi. And before anyone knew what was going on, Preye was made the king. Wow. Timi was very hurt. How could his friend, his best friend, have betrayed him that way? Anyway, he was quiet about it, but he was deeply hurt and wounded. While Preye was on the throne, it was said that a king with a good heart who gave his life for the people that would become the next king. As a result of his reign, there would be peace in Brakemi. But instead of peace, remember, Preye was not exactly a good-hearted person. And because of that, peace did not reign eventually. Instead, things became worse for the people of Brakemi. And there came another plague, a plague greater than that of Obiribiri. It was Agbakara, the gigantic crocodile, oppressing the people of the land and going after the children of the land. Oh, some of the people of Brakemi began to run to other neighboring villages to stay safe. Nobody could come out of the house to even trade, to fetch water, to do anything. It was worse off. Oh, Preye realized, he knew that because he was not a good-hearted king, this had fallen upon the people of Brakemi. And he needed to beg his friend Timi for forgiveness and also beg him to please go after Agbakara, because he knew that Timi was very strong and courageous, more than he. And so late at night, Preye snuck to Timi's house to speak with him and beg for his forgiveness. But Timi told him, said, I forgive you, but you need to say the truth. If indeed you are good-hearted, you must tell the people of the land that you lied. Because only the good-hearted would have a peaceful reign, and this would affect the people eventually. While Preye was with Timi, he heard, news came to him that Agbakara was in the palace. Oh, immediately he took to his heels. Timi followed after and even overtook him in the process and got to the palace before Preye. By this time, Agbakara was about attacking the prince. That was Preye's son. But trust Timi, he came in between the prince and Agbakara and swung his sword at Agbakara. Eventually, he got in a struggle with Agbakara and killed Agbakara. Oh.
I am Grandma.
This even moved Preye the more and made him even feel more guilty. At this point, he decided he needed to tell the people of Brakemi the truth. And so everyone was summoned because Preye had an announcement to make. Then he told the people of Brakemi that he really did not kill Ebibulu and that the good-hearted person, the courageous one who had killed Ebibulu, was Timi, his friend. But he had lied. Oh, the people of Brakemi were very disappointed. Eventually, Preye had to be removed as king, while Timi was placed on the throne as the new king. As a result of Timi's reign, there was peace in the land, just like it used to be in old times. Those who had run away to neighboring villages began to come back, and the prosperity of Brakemi was again restored. The end. I hope you learned a thing or two from my story. But don't worry, because there will be one more story for another day. Until we come your way again on the Grandma Wura's Story Heart. This is Grandma Wura saying bye-bye.
Today on the Grandma Wura's Story Heart, we learned that it is important to always be truthful and honest. We also learned that in order to be a great leader, you must have a good and selfless heart. Unlike Preye, we never should betray our friends or loved ones. We must continue to ensure that the trust people have in us is never lost. Discuss more of the other lessons you learned today with your parents or guardians. You can reach me at Grandma Wura on Facebook and Instagram with the supervision of an adult. Also visit www.proudafricanroots.com to get your own copy of the Grandma Wura Story Heart ebook.
Tell you something you've never heard that will blow your mind. Once upon a time I told you stories from Africa. Fun enough to make you laugh. Bright enough to light your day. Super lessons you learn from it, and it makes you go.